and the visitor. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Today is going to be a beautiful topic. Today we're going to be speaking on something that we all can learn from and get something from, and that's the Bible.
All right.
That's the Bible. But no, today I ain't going to be before y'all long. Those of you that know me, I don't be long. I'm not long-winded. I just give what God gives to me, and I get out the way. My dad told me, his mom said, don't make them twice. Make them happy twice. Glad twice. When you stand up and when you sit down. You don't want them glad twice. Now, he told me that when I first started speaking. He said, now, don't make them glad twice. And my mom told me, don't make them glad twice. Now, I don't want you to be glad, so I want one gladness about it. But yeah, I ain't going to be before you long. Today, I want to speak to you about the effect of lack counseling.
All right.
The effect of lack counseling. Y'all say it with me. The effect of lack counseling. Give God some praise in here. Come on, y'all. Now, the reason I believe God has given me this is because that is what's going on in this world today. Everybody think that they have the information that is great, but if they're not under the Spirit, the counseling is lacking. There is no counseling if there is no spirituality information coming from God. So if there is no counseling from God, people shall perish. All right, now the effect. Now the reason that this came to my mind is because we got some children that are in the household of some people that are not under the spiritual realm. And that is the most effective thing that goes on in this world. If there is no training or no counseling, again, people perish. They lack. He said, my people lack because of perish because of lack of wisdom. Lack of knowledge. And that's what I want to talk about today, because we got a lot of killings. We got a lot of people going against each other. We got a lot of people saying that it's the race, it's the skin tone, it's this, it's that. But it's all because their counseling is lacked. They don't have the information. It's not the color, the skin tone. It's not what the race. It's the spirit behind the race. That's what it is. It's the counseling behind what's going on. Now let's get into some word. I'm gonna get you to where we need to be. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs.
All right.
Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22 and 6. It says, start children off on the way they should go. And even when they are old, they will not turn away from it. Now, it says start them off. Now, we got a lot of people thinking that teaching their children how to be gangsters, how to be thugs, how to be whoremongers, how to be prostitutes, how to do all of these things, how to dress, how to go to school, how to get a job, how to be when you are in the presence of getting employment, but they don't teach them that this is the way, that God is the way, the truth, and the life. And this is what we are lacking today. That's why we were wondering why Lil Poo Poo and Lil Ray Ray is going against each other, because they have no understanding that this is a spiritual war. Now this spiritual warfare, it occurs when there is lacking of counseling. Let's get some definition. Let's get some definition. Now I got the definition of counsel.
All right.
The definition of counsel is advice, especially that's given firmly. Firmly advice. Now, an advice is guidance or recommendations offered with regard to prudent future actions.
All right.
So prudent means that you are governed by something that is prosperous, something that is holified, that can counsel thy mind while you are here on earth. So when there is no advice, people say, let me give you a little bit of advice. If there is no good prudence, that is not advice. How can I advise you on things that I have no training of? So we got to get some counseling. What it is the people that are over us, they lack the counseling that is needed for the children that are beneath them.
Come on, right now.
Now that's what I've been seeing. This is another way is lack counseling, because the Bible say we shall seek and ye shall find. As the child get older, it's their fault. If they don't go out and seek the information and that is needed to help prosper thy mind, to help get closer, to help understand the ways of life. It is thyself. But when the child is before growth, when it's before maturity, when it's before understanding, the counseling comes from the information that the parents are giving.
Yeah, Doc.
Now it says start a child off in the way it should go. We'll start a child off in the teaching it. Let's go get some Jordans. Let's go get the finest clothes. Let's go get the finest jewelry, the finest car. But in this Bible it says start it off in the way. The way that it should go is the information that was given to you about God should be poured into these children.
Come on. Yeah.
But it's lack there. Every lack. Let me give the definition of lack. The state of being without.
Come on.
The state of being without. These children, this world is getting worse because nobody wants to be really cool. Nobody wants to be really educated. They want to look as if they're educated. They don't want to really have the information that can help the body. They want to pretend that they have the information. And that's where it comes from, God. That's why the Bible said, don't worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, or when you're going to sleep. Because these three things can distract you. These are the main three things that can keep you from getting close to God. But if we don't have that information to tell us that we shouldn't worry about these things, and when we come out of the birth, when we come out at birth, we as humanity, we worry about the garments. We worry about how my brother gonna look at my child, my sister gonna receive my child, or how they gonna receive me. But if we worried about how to prosper and succeed, let's go into some more word. Let's go to Matthew, the 18th chapter. Now stay with me. Now I'm talking about the effect of lack of counseling. Now, when there is no counseling, there is no wisdom. There is no guidance. There is nothing that can be effectively changed if there is no counseling, good education. Now, it said counsel is advice. Advice is guidance or recommendations offered with regard to prudent future actions. Now, let's go to Matthew, the 18th chapter, verses 5 through 9. It says, and whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me. It says, if anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Let's stop there. It said, if you lead in these children, you are the one that's blocking these children from getting guidance. You are the one teaching them that it's about style. It's about how you look, how you present yourself to a man, how you present yourself to a woman. When it's all about how you can get God's attention. This attention of God, nobody can give you. Nobody can give you the information that God has given you. And if we teach the children that from birth, that God has all the counseling, all the information that you need from birth, teach it from birth, then it would be a different world. Y'all remember the show A Different World? It's a different world. And where it comes from. It is. Everybody is worried about how they present themselves to humanity. Everybody is worried about he say, she say, we say, when there should be more counseling on how to get greater. We need more men standing up as kings. We need more women standing up as queens. We need all of us to present ourselves as a living sacrifice. A living sacrifice. Not just be in the church, but be a part of the church. It's a difference. They said you can know somebody, know of somebody, or know. There's a difference when you know of somebody. I know of that person, but I don't know how they move. But when you know a person, you know how they move, the ins and outs. That's the difference between knowing of God and to know God. When you know God, you know that the things that are of sin can disrespect him. You know that the counseling that you pour off into the world, everybody is watching somebody. Somebody told me, you be careful on how you move and how you speak, because you might be the only book that somebody's reading.
Yeah.
These children may not ever open up. I was watching yesterday. They was watching me because how I was dressed. I had myself dressed like I was one of them street thugs, and they was they watching everything. Is that you do. A child programs it into the brain. They program it into their brain, and then as they get older, they remember how to do the justice and speak how you presented yourself. When I was young, when we was kids, me and Nate was talking about on the podcast how we used to play church. You know, we used to do that because my daddy always had church. He always preached. That's because that's what he was teaching in the house. We wanted to do what was taught. So we played church. And me and my little brother that passed away, we used to always argue on who gonna be the preacher. All the time. We like, no, I'm the preacher, I'm the preacher. But what I'm saying is, everything that you do, the children is going to portray to do it in their image, the way you present it.
Yeah.
So this is the effect. The effect of lack counseling is destruction. Everything is being destroyed because the wrong information has been entered into the world, into the brains of people that are listening. Children listen. They watch. They pay attention. No matter what you say, you can tell. I tell my child, the little one, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not gonna lie. I got the N-word bad. God haven't delivered me from that. I'll be like, hey, son, E. And he'll say, and he'll say it to the N-word. Don't say that. You can't do as I say. Can't do as I do as I say. That's what I'll be trying to tell them. But you can't do that. When you are presenting yourself, you got to be the role model that is presenting everything for them to do, not just as you say. Everything has to be done. Just like you presented to them, it has to be presented to them in action also. Everything. Now, it says that woe to the ones that are leading these little ones, to the ones that is distracting these little ones and keeping them from growing in the spirit. And this is what's happening in this world. We got so many penitentiaries full because of the inside parenting counseling. We got so many graves full because of the inside parenting counseling. We got so many hospitals, mothers hurting because of the inside parenting counseling. This lack of education is hurting us. Hurting humanity, period. It don't matter the color, black, white, Hispanic, or whatever you are. If there is no counseling, you're going to perish. There is no successful need in information that has no value. Let's continue to read Matthew 18:5-9. And I was on 7. Okay, it says, woe to the world because of the things that cause people to stumble. Such things must come, but woe to the person through whom they can't come. Woo. It said, woe to the person to whom they come. That's saying you brought that information, you delivered it, so you gonna be the one in trouble. Basically, the blood of the people you teaching is on your hands. You are the reason why this world is scattered. You are the reason why the children is looking at the MTV, the BTs, and wanting to shake their butts, and wanting to sell dope, and wanting to carry pistols for no reason. This is the reason, because this is the effect of the counseling that has been lacked. It said the state of being without, that's the meaning of lack. They don't have it. So, and then I was reading a while back, a lot of people that have been taught some ways and thinking they're doing, they said in the Bible, some of the people that were praising God, but they were praising Him in the wrong way. And that kept their hearts away from God because of the counseling that they received. But they were thought that they were doing right. But their hearts were away from God because of what they were taught. Because of what they were taught.
Yes, sir.
So when we present ourselves, so we are out here and we doing our thug thistle, or we doing our what they call it, Miss Bossy thing. understand that you are leading more people to the path of hell than to righteousness. And we got to understand and teach these kids that hell is real and heaven is too. Heaven is real just as real as heaven is. We got to tell them that the devil is real, because in order to know heaven, you got to know the devil.
Yeah.
You got to know, because that's the opposite of doing good. You got to tell them what's the wrong as well as you tell them what's right. You got to. But we got people that are betrayed. When you get saved, don't nothing happen. Oh man, it's all peaches and cream. It's glory. It's it's hamburgers and fries. All day long, every day. No, it's not. When you become saved, I'm going to tell you now, that's when the trial starts.
Yeah.
That's when it starts. When you start putting your foot to the plow and pushing Satan away and going closer to God, that's when Satan is trying to pull you closer to him. But you got to understand that the information that is given from God can help you get greater in your position.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Doc. Preach, man.
But it's all because of the lack of counseling.
Yeah.
The lack of counseling. Now, let's continue reading. I think I'm on 8. It said, if your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life maimed or clipped than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into eternal fire. Anything distracting you from God, cut it off. Mama, daddy, distract, cut them off.
Come on.
Sister, brother, just cut them off.
Come on.
Yeah,
Boy.
right, husband. It don't matter how deep you think that ship is going to be. If it's distracting you from good counsel,
Come on, man.
off with the head.
See.
But that's real. It said in your own arm, your own hand, it's distracting you from reaching God. Cut it off. And look, check, and I believe that is true because the Bible said it, but also I was going through. Check this out. Before I lost my eye, I didn't see things how I seen things. And me having 2 made me not focus on what is in front of me with only having 1. I lost 1 and I see better with 1 than I did when I had 2. And these glasses ain't for seeing, it's for protection. And it's the honest God truth. And the more and more I start that I was in the world when I had both my eyes too. And once I seen the revelation of me losing my eyes, I understood that I see better now because of the position I'm in. The who I'm under helps me to perceive things better with 1.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
That's deep, man.
Wow. Verse 9. It says, and oh, there we go talking about this eye. Here it is. And if your eye causes you to stumble, gag it out and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than to have 2 and to be thrown in the lake of fire.
Come on,
to
man.
hell.
Teach here, boy.
That's deep, for real. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Sex problem. Cut it off. All of these things can be a distraction.
Look out, boy.
But you gotta understand, sometimes it ain't physical cut off, it's the mental state. You gotta cut off the thoughts.
Yeah.
The thoughts that is eating you. You know, that's why I was saying I gave an analogy of my eye, but it was the thoughts.
Yeah.
That held me from going closer because I didn't see what God was doing with my life until I lost my eye.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew. God said, you ain't going to pick it out and gouge it out. I'm going to throw it out. I'll throw it away. I got something planned for you, boy. I'm going to throw it away. Yeah, maybe you will understand. But the effect of lack counseling. This is, I believe, where the world is not understanding. We'll focus on the president, the councilman, the legislator, who's in office, who's out of office, And then we know, he ain't a good president. It ain't even them. It's the spirit behind them.
Yeah.
They don't have the education. Yesterday I was talking to a good brother of mine, Reverend Atkins, that spoke yesterday. And me and my dad, we was talking about on knowing things. To know, when you know things, you feel out. You feel like a sore throat because you know. What I'm saying is, when you know stuff and people don't know, you gotta upgrade over them. Because what the world is paying for is knowledge. If you go to work, the knowledge that you're doing to work, that's what they're paying for. They ain't paying for you, they're paying for what you know. They're paying for what you know. That's anything that is around, anything of this world. Work comes from knowing. Knowing. You can't work for God if you don't know God. You can't just step in, sign, and fill out an application and pretend. Because God knows you within. He ain't just looking on the outside. Yeah. That internal, I was talking about that this morning, that's what matters. We'll portray, but what's on the inside will show in a minute. Yeah. That's real. The house gonna look good on the outside all day long. Let it get too dirty, you smell the trash on the outside from the inside. Yeah. You sure will. The counseling is what is affecting this world. Yes. Now let's go to the last one, and I'm going to close it out. We're going to go to Psalms 1. Psalms 1. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Psalms 1. Because I believe in counseling and instruction. It's what makes you. It makes you. And Psalms 1 says, blessed is the one who does not walk in the steps with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. Yes, sir. Counseling. That's counseling. The only way you can get revelations from God is by having your brain on God. Yes. The mental state has to be in where you can receive information. Yes. It said, blessed is the one who walketh not. Blessed. And King James says, walking not in the counsel. In the counsel of the ungodly. That's what I was saying. Counseling is important. If it's coming from the right place. Yes. We will run to psychologists, we will run to the doctor, we will run every place, but we won't go where the counselor can help us mentally. And that's what is affecting us. That is what's taking over this world. Satan sees that. We'll run to humanity instead of going to the spirit. And Satan said, I'm winning because he said, I'm winning this soul because they ain't understanding that it's affecting them for going to humanity instead of spirit. The effect of lack of counseling. Thank y'all. God bless. All right. Now we're in the hands of Bishop Bass.